on the night team moving forward to oust him from office. In a late decision this evening, the Louisville Metro Council Charging Committee recommends the Republican council member Anthony Piagentini be formally removed for ethics violations. Hello, everybody. It's our top story on the night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. The 6-member committee recommending the formal removal charges after an hour-long meeting behind closed doors.
All those in favor of the motion to file charges for removal of Councilman Anthony Piagentini, say aye. And those opposed? Okay, the ayes have it.
The committee was formed after the Metro Ethics Commission found Piagentini used his position of power to leverage a 6-figure job. The case involved a $40 million American Rescue Plan grant that Piagentini co-sponsored for a group called the Louisville Healthcare CEO Council, his future employer. In their formal complaint, the charging committee accuses Piagentini of 8 charges for, quote, misconduct or willful neglect in the performance of the duties of his office. The complaint requests that he be removed from office. The formal complaint will next be delivered to the full council during its upcoming meeting, and that is this Thursday. From there, a hearing will be scheduled on the removal charges. In a statement given to WHAS11 News tonight, Piagentini says, quote, I am pleased the commission finally took action so I can demonstrate publicly that these charges are not true, end quote. He says he wants the hearing scheduled as soon as possible to, quote, demonstrate to my colleagues that these charges are simply false and are consistent with a partisan mood to remove me from office, end of quote tonight. Also, more local news here on the night team. The highest number of homicides ever recorded in the 5th Division of Louisville. That's the Highlands, Crescent Hill, and Clifton neighborhoods. And tonight was the night residents could talk directly with the beat officers who patrol their streets. WHAS 11 night team's Alex Dederer and photojournalist Addie Hill are joining us live with how police describe the spike in gun violence. Alex?
Doug, we are here on Bardstown Road, and neighborhoods on Bardstown Road, including the Highlands, are included in the 5th Division. Now, the 5th Division has seen a record number of 10 homicides this year. LMPD is pinning this spike in violent crime on the bar scene here on Bardstown Road. The new Louisville Metro Gun Violence Dashboard, seen right here, tracks violent crime in real time across the city.
Our part in saying, here it is, please utilize it. This is the information that you've been asking for. And so now we're in this space of it has now been produced.
Something Police Chief Jacqueline Gwynn Villaroel says will help keep residents informed of the crime in their neighborhood. A small group of residents who wanted to stay informed on their neighborhood showed up for the 5th Division Meet the Beat Officer event.
We want to seek the welfare of the city, right? Like, we live here, we're invested here, this is our home, and so we want to see it flourish and do well.
As you can see, the 5th Division, which includes the Highlands, Crescent Hill, and Clifton neighborhoods, have had over 20 incidents of gun violence this year. 10 of those have been fatal. A topic commander of the 5th Division, Major Jason Grissom, did not stray away from.
When you look at the number as a whole, yeah, it's a big number, and it's an all-time high as far as I can tell.
He says the Highlands neighborhood is a unique setting when it comes to crime.
A good amount of them were domestic related. They were interpersonal fights. They were people that were intoxicated. And I say this a lot, the bars are a great revenue source, a great place of entertainment, but they do bring their own problems.
Metro Councilman Andrew Owen calls the spike in homicides concerning. He says the new crime dashboard can help rebuild trust between LMPD and the community.
We're trying to be as transparent as we can at Metro government and LMPD. And again, sharing information is another way of communicating between those two groups, and I think it can't do anything but help.
Both Major Grissom and Councilman Owen highlighted the importance of communication within the division, saying more communication between neighbors leads to less crime. Major Grissom says almost all of the 10 homicides have been solved. And in regards to the entertainment industry here on Bardstown Road, he also says businesses have been more cooperative over the last few months when it comes to safety. Live in the Highlands neighborhood, Alex Dederer, WHAS 11 Night Team, on your side.
Alex, thank you. Now, when unveiling the dashboard earlier today, Office of Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods Director Paul Callanan called it a new tool for community groups. He says they're going to be able to pinpoint when certain crimes are most likely to occur so they can schedule the staff accordingly.
Dashboard promotes co-ownership of gun violence reduction by providing our community partners with a critical tool that can be utilized for strategy development, for equitable deployment of resources, and for ensuring transparency and accountability within our collective efforts.
The dashboard will be updated daily, and we've got a link for you to check it out at WHAS11.com. More local news. The Kentucky Supreme Court made its final ruling today. Judge Charles Sims does not need to step down from the murder trial coming up for Brooks Houck. Houck is charged in the death of his former girlfriend, Crystal Rogers, in Nelson County. Houck's legal team wanted Judge Sims removed from this case, claiming that he's biased against Houck. But today, the Supreme Court of Kentucky denied that motion. The opinion says Houck's team failed to prove any circumstances that would require a new judge. Last week, Judge Sims said he would not recuse himself and stood by every decision he's made so far in the case. In a separate ruling, by the way, the Court of Appeals upheld Brooks Houck's $10 million bond. In the order, the court agrees it is a stiff penalty, but given the capital charge, he could not have gotten a bond at all. The court also found that Houck did not provide evidence that the bond was unreasonable. The Boyd County Sheriff's Office has identified this woman who was found alongside a road earlier this month. She is 42-year-old Patricia Englands, and they've now also ruled her death as a homicide. England's body was found in a ditch on Coral Ridge Road on November 9th. The Sheriff's Office is asking anyone who may know what England was doing that day, before that day, or who she was with, to give them a call. Their crime tip line is 502-543-1262. One person was killed and another sent to the hospital after a tent caught on fire at a homeless camp near Old Louisville. The Louisville Fire Department spokesperson says the fire happened around 10:30 this morning near Brook and College Streets under the I-65 overpass. Outreach worker Savvy Hughes says the homeless community often starts fires to stay warm as the temperatures drop, but she says they've become deadly as people are forced to fend for themselves.
If we weren't moving people every day, every Monday at that, if we were providing safe and warm and accessible housing to folks, if we were letting outreach workers and social service workers across the city do their jobs, we probably wouldn't be standing here talking to you all today.
Statement on this, Mayor Craig Greenberg's office says they're saddened by the death, adding the Metro's homeless services team works to connect people with permanent housing resources and to prevent public safety hazards like open fires often found at encampments.